thrown out of class for saying that there's only two genders. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, bringing you the obvious, and today on unilad.co.uk. Here at Unilad, student thrown out of class by teacher for saying there's only two genders. Stating scientific fact is now an educational crime. By Emma Rosemargie. A student claimed he was kicked out of class for saying there are only two genders. The 17-year-old pupil, who hasn't been named, secretly filmed his teacher reprimanding him before posting the clip online. It was shared thousands of times all over the world, promoting a global debate on trans rights and free speech? This has nothing to do with trans. This is literally about scientific fact. There are only two genders, male and female. And we'll get into the history of this scientifically inaccurate pseudoscience of multiple genders and genders being a social construct. Newsflash, it's not. And I want to play the clip. This play button doesn't work. I'm angry now. Here we go.
You're entitled to your opinion.
If I am, then why would you kick me out of class? It's not very inclusive of
Could I finish
opinion.
my sentence, please? Not very inclusive. No, I'm sorry, what you were saying was not very inclusive, and this is an inclusive school.
Yeah, how was what I was saying?
Because I was saying that what's wrong with the website is that there are more than one gender in this country.
That's
by law.
your opinion.
That is my opinion, and that is an opinion which is acceptable in the school. I'm afraid yours, which you're saying that there's no such thing as anyone other than male or female, is not
Scientifically,
inclusive.
there are just two genders, depending on what
I get that.
genital
But
you have.
you're choosing to make an issue of this, because I said, are you really going to hear? That was your opportunity to keep quiet.
You made the issue with it on the website. You said, oh, this website doesn't have more than...
You were clearly given...
You heard that right, folks. You're not allowed to have an opinion. You made this an issue by opening your big fat mouth and stating scientific truths.
an opportunity not to pursue it. You chose to do so.
Yeah, because I think it's
You
silly.
chose to do so. Yes, that's the key question. You chose to do so.
I think it's silly to have anything other than two genders. So
That, okay.
Anything
could you please,
else is a
could you
personal
please
opinion.
keep that opinion to your own house? Thank you. Not in the
So
school.
you get to put your opinion out in class, and my
No,
opinion has to,
I am not.
my
putting
opinion has to stay
I
inside
am
my
not
house.
putting my opinion. I am not putting my opinion out. I am stating what is national school authority policy. Okay?
Well, it's not scientific whatsoever.
My man, absolutely 100% technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Not every policy is scientific. Not every policy is scientific.
And you can't come out here and say that I'm not being inclusive when someone says
I
something you
didn't say.
disagree with. So
I said what you were saying was not being
you
inclusive.
kick me out of class. If you want to have a discussion about it, we could have done it. Had a discussion. You don't have to kick me out of class.
I'm
and
sorry,
waste
but
30 minutes of my time, where I could have been down revising, doing something else. Instead, I state something I believe in. You kick me out of class for 30 minutes. And I'm waiting on the.
Take this somewhere else. You can make an official complaint.
I'm not
Please
going to
do.
make an official complaint.
Why not?
I just think it's.
I know what you think, and I know what the authority thinks. I know what the authority's point of view
Well, I know
is.
what science thinks.
Very clear that we make no discrimination on the grounds of various.
I wasn't making discrimination. I'm simply saying there are two genders, male and female.
Yeah.
Anything else is a personal identification.
I'm sorry, but you chose to make an issue of making a point which is contrary to policy.
You
right?
made the issue when you complained about the website, sir.
Yes, and I made it in a way.
And I responded to
and
that
I
by
made,
saying, but there are only two genders.
and
I never
said
made the issue.
That I am not going here. You can choose. You're making bad choices.
I'm making bad choices, okay.
I think-
Well, can I take my bag and go to the research area and start revising
No,
it?
you can stay here.
Okay, I'll stay here. Thanks for wasting my time.
I am not allowed to tell you how much of my time you have wasted.
Okay. So,
Based. My man. Now, a teachers' unions are cancer, has defended the 56-year-old teacher by suggesting the student was likely looking for trouble and making the comments and filming the aftermath. No, you're just mad that you got caught. Aberdeenshire Council has also weighed in on the debate, insisting the video did not show the full context of the incident, adding, the school's aim was to support a fair, inclusive environment for all. So this is it, folks, the end game of regressive ideology, of cultural Marxism. They want to erode meaning. They want to change the definition. They want to redefine everything so that they, in their place, they can replace them with words that are defined in their agenda in terms of their deluded false beliefs. In the clip, which lasts for 3 minutes, the teacher explains to the student why he's asked to leave the class after saying his two genders proclamation. You know, I feel like people are always saying, oh, this is the most advanced time in human history. Mankind made it to the moon. We're so advanced. We've made it so far. Okay. We've literally regressed to Galileo. Once it was not allowed to say that Earth was not the center of the universe. These days, you're not allowed to say that there's only two genders, boy and girl, minus mutational, like birth defects, but everything else is just bullshit. We've got a long way to go, don't we? He tells the student, you're entitled to your opinion. Before the student responds, if I am, then why did you kick me out of class? It's not very inclusive. The teacher then responded, no, I'm sorry. What you're saying is not very inclusive. This is an inclusive school. Yeah, except if you have wrongthink. He then goes on to explain how there are more than two genders by law. Oh, so I guess if it's in the law, then it's true. Why did we abolish slavery then? I thought the law was the truth. I thought the authorities were always right. Could it possibly be that sometimes policies are unscientific and stupid? And therefore, saying there are only two genders, the student hadn't been very inclusive. So you see their contradictoriness, their cognitive dissonance, their doublethink, as it were. The teacher continues, you were clearly given an opportunity to not I can't do the accent. You were clearly given an opportunity not to pursue it. You chose to do so. I think it's silly to have anything other than two genders, sir. The male student persists. The child asks the teachers, why our staff are allowed to air an opinion, while a pupil is apparently banned from doing so. The member of the staff then points out, I'm not putting any opinion at. I'm stating that it is a national school authority policy. When the student argues it's not scientific whatsoever, the teacher tells him not every policy is scientific. Sounds like an admission of guilt to me. What I believe the teacher was referring to was a difference between sex and gender. There is none. While sex and the biological difference between men and women, gender is more to do with an individual's concept of themselves and gender identity. Bullshit. You want to know why? Do you know who invented the idea that gender was a social construct? And, let's not mention that all of his patients died or had serious mental problems because of his progressive beliefs. So John Money was a pseudoscientist, a psychologist, and sexologist, which is basically bullshit. He specialized in the research of sexual identity and biology of gender. Okay, let's look at his treatment. He treated a boy named David Reimer. When he was young, he had a botched circumcision, which left him without a man's most important part. So, first of all, circumcision is also a crime. Mutilation of someone without their consent is never okay. So, okay, one problem of society right there. Number two, Money persuaded the baby's parents that sex reassignment surgery would be in Reimer's best interest. At age of 22 months, Reimer underwent an orchidectomy in which his testes were surgically removed. He was reassigned to be raised as a female and given the name Brenda. You see, this mad scientist, John Money, believed that gender was a social construct, that there was more than two genders, that you could be either male or female based on the way you were raised. So he put it to the test with Reimer. How did that turn out, you wonder? Money further recommended hormone treatment, to which his parents agreed. Money then recommended a surgical procedure to create an artificial vagu. When the parents refused, Money published a number of papers reporting the reassignment as successful. For several years, Money reported on Reimer's progress as the John Joan case, describing apparent successful female gender development. Now keep in mind that He won lots of awards for this. He was a famous scientist and he popularized the idea, look, I was right. Gender is a social construct. And using this case to support the feasibility of sex reassignment and surgical reconstruction, even in non-intersex cases. Notes by a former at Money's laboratory state that during yearly follow-up visits, Reimer's parents routinely lied to staff about the success of the procedure. Reimer's twin brother, Brian, later developed schizophrenia. On July 1st, 2002, Brian was found dead from an overdose of antidepressants. On May 4th, 2004, after suffering years of severe depression, financial instability, and marital troubles, David committed seppuku by aiming at his own head with a sawed-off shotgun at age of 38. Reimer's parents have stated that Money's ideology was responsible for the death of both of their sons. So, if you actually look into it, Reimer actually did blame Money. He never felt like a girl. Ever. He never felt like a girl. Even with hormone treatment, he never felt like a girl. Deep down in his heart, he knew he was a boy. So if gender is a social construct and Reimer was raised as a female, then why did he refuse to be a girl? Because there's only two genders. And gender is a social construct is nothing but pseudoscience, garbage, destructive, and stupid ideology that's killed people. How did Money argue against this? He said it was right-wing media bias and the anti-feminist movement. He said his detractors believed masculinity and femininity are built into the genes, so women should get back to the mattress in the kitchen. You stupid son of a little... my hand calls out for the globalist. You know, these people are so stupid. They're so evil. They're pure evil. Yes, male and female is found in the genes. You stupid son of a gun. Let me ask you this, buddy. I'm about to debunk your entire argument. If there's no such thing as male and female in the genes, then why do you give someone estrogen to be a girl? Why do you give someone testosterone to be a man? Doesn't that literally prove that there's only two? Male, female. I don't even know why I do this sometimes. What's the point? The world is insane. And yet we're the ones who are mad. Sane in a world gone mad. It's thought the student has been disciplined for sharing the video without the teacher's consent, rather than sharing his view. An Ardenshire Council spokesman said, as reported by the Mail Online, as part of our public sector equality duty, we aim to eliminate discrimination, harassment, and victimization, advance the equality of opportunity between those who have protected characteristics and those who don't. Oh, that sounds like equality now, doesn't it? And foster good relations between those who have protected characteristics and those who don't. Interesting. So absolute inequality. It is important to understand the context of any video clip taken without a person's consent. No. If it was a public school, it's public grounds. You do not need consent. In our schools, fostering good relations among different groups can be a real challenge, but our aim is to support a fair, inclusive environment for all. Unless you have the wrong opinion, then you need to get out. Very inclusive. If you've been affected by any of these issues and want to speak to someone in confidence, contact Midline Trans. The line is open. That's the world we live in, folks. Oh, I'm sure you're not a total delusional leftist now, are you? So this is the story. It's absolute clown world. It's absolutely insane. I don't think I really need to defend my argument very much more. The world has gone insane, but that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about a student being thrown out of class for saying that there's only two genders? Do you think he's right? Or do you think that the mad scientist who killed his patients is correct? Be sure to let me know. Now, if you like the content that I make, and look, I'm being demonetized constantly, every single video. Boom, boom, boom. You can join me on Patreon or Subscribestar for as low as $1. You can contribute more if you wish. There are different tiers. Doing so will get you access to Fight Club, a private Discord server. You can also donate via PayPal. You could also just share the video, since we're all being suppressed and throttled. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.